wrapping your own brain around a cancer diagnosis can be incredibly difficult, but telling your kids that it's very likely you may die, that can feel impossible. But that is exactly where local author Caroline Wright found herself just a couple of years ago, and what she did in response, helping families everywhere. Caroline, thank you very much for being here this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
I read your book and I just think it's beautiful. I bought it and I've been sharing it with our kids. So would you kind of take us back to the beginning here and just briefly tell us, you were facing a cancer diagnosis and you have a young family.
Yes, and in fact I still am. I was diagnosed with a glioblastoma, one of the most aggressive forms of brain cancer, about 3 years ago, and I was given a year to live. And I didn't really have the vocabulary to tell my children what was going on. I muddled through the best way that I could, and then started creating legacy materials for them, basically writing all the time.
Because that's what you do.
Right.
I mean, you wanted to do something like this. So how did the idea that a good way to sort of give them something and maybe tell them about what you were experiencing was to write this book, Lasting Love?
Well, I just wanted to, we were telling them, because we don't particularly have religion to rely on in our family, so we were talking about how love is everlasting and how my love for them is tangible and forever, whether or not my body survived.
That's really beautiful. I've looked through it, I've read the words. Like I said, we bought it for our kids. Would you tell us a little bit about the story? We're looking at one of the illustrations right now. Tell us the story a little bit.
Yeah, so basically when a parent is diagnosed with a terminal illness, they're sent home from the hospital with a magical creature. And the magical creature is the outward representation of the dying parent's love in this case, the mother. And so, you know, halfway through she dies, because that's what we were talking about with my kids, and I didn't feel like, you know, some metaphor like the passage of seasons or something like that was going to be sufficient. So it was really preparing them for the eventuality of my death.
I think it's a really brave thing because, I mean, you mentioned it, the book doesn't have a happy ending necessarily. Love goes on, the creature exists, that's happy.
Right.
But the mom does die.
Right.
We're glad you haven't. And
right.
You're here for your kids.
Yes. Yeah.
But it still feels like something that would be tough for families to do. And yet I've read this and I enjoy reading it with my kids.
I feel like it actually is a very hopeful book. Certainly for me, the idea that I could die and my love, they wouldn't be scared to think of me and my love. That was being a vibrant, loving mother and then having the last few years of my life defined by the worst thing that's ever happened to me and have it erase all of the good stuff was really, really hard for me to wrap my head around. So having this creature where the child references the idea of your love in a positive way was really beautiful for me as the parent.
And the illustrations are just gorgeous. You said you actually worked with a preschool teacher of one of your boys.
Yes, Willow Heath is a painter in town, and she's wonderful and a dear friend and very talented.
I love it. And there's so many subtle details in it. The coloring, the way the creature shares that color and that love with the other people around the creature. I mean, it's beautiful. And if death is something that you want to talk to your kids about, I mean, nobody wants to, but like need to, this is a book that can help anybody, whether you're in a cancer situation or not. Would you kind of bring us up to speed on your own situation? You obviously are here. You seem to be doing very well.
I am.
We're really happy for that. Would you kind of tell us how your story's going?
I'm currently cancer-free, 3 years out. Again, I was given a year to live, so it's kind of a shocker to everyone. My kids are happy, well-adjusted, and doing their thing, and so now I'm just living my life.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you have this beautiful book
yes.
that you're sharing with other people. Really quickly, we only have a couple of seconds, but what's the reaction been from folks? Like I said, my family loves it.
It's been an exciting process. Everybody seems to, it's been inspiring very cool conversations about death.
I love it, which is a crazy thing to say.
Yes.
Cool conversations about death.
Yes.
But it does feel like something we need to do.
About time, right?
Right, exactly. Caroline Wright, thank you very much. The book is available on Amazon. It's available pretty much anywhere books are sold.
Right.
It is beautiful. It's worth your time. If you would like to learn more about Caroline, CarolineWrightBooks.com is your website.
Yep.
All of the information is there. We appreciate you being here this morning.
Thank you, Travis.
Great, take care. In the meantime,